Hello and thank you for joining us on Nationwide on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA. I am Norlin Ebel Ame. We begin the broadcast from the presidency, where President Bola Tinubu has made changes in the hierarchy of the service chiefs in furtherance of the efforts of the federal government of Nigeria to strengthen the national security architecture. The president appointed General Olufemi Oluede to replace General Christopher Musa as the new Chief of Defense Staff. The new Chief of Army Staff is Major General W. Shaibu. Air Vice Marshal S.K. Anike is Chief of Air Staff, while Rear Admiral I. Abbas is the new Chief of Naval Staff. Chief of Defense Intelligence Major General E.A.P. Odende retains his position. The president expresses appreciation to the outgoing Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, and the other service chiefs for their patriotic service and dedicated leadership. The president charges the newly appointed service chiefs to justify the confidence reposed in them to further enhance the professionalism, vigilance and comradeship that defined the armed forces of Nigeria. All appointments take immediate effect. In the meantime, troops of Operation Hadinkai, OPHK, has defeated terrorist attacks on multiple locations across the joint operations area in the early hours of 23rd October 2025. Between midnight and 0400 hours, the terrorists launched coordinated assault on troops' positions in Dikwa, Mafa, Gajibo, and Katarku, situated in Sector 1, Borno State, and Sector 2, Yobe State, respectively. In all instances, troops stood firm, fought gallantly, and professionally repelled the attacks. The response was supported by air platforms of the Air Component Command of OPHK. Intelligence further revealed the terrorists who attacked Dikwa and Gajibo maneuvered from the Cameroon axis, while those that attacked Katarku emerged from the Timbuktu Triangle, a non-terrorist enclave. Some of the gallant troops were wounded in action but are in stable condition. Some vehicles and buildings were also gutted by fire from the terrorist armed drones and RPG fire during the battle, especially in Mafa and Dikwa, where a part of the defenses were momentarily breached. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Army is strengthening leadership capacity of its senior officers through the Strategic Management and Policy Studies Course 8 2025. The course is designed to prepare participants to effectively respond to contemporary security challenges and adapt to the evolving complexities of operations.
Security environment. So you have to continue to hone and fine-tune your skills. Our expectation is that when graduates from this course return back to the field, they will be better able to apply strategies the way they have learned from this course, and also how to manage resources, manage personnel, and so on that are entrusted to them.
Training is a continuous and continual process in the Nigerian Army towards building capacity, enhancing capacity to address the multifaceted challenges that confront the nation today. It's a strategic level course. At that strategic level, all hands are on deck towards achieving national outcomes that are the interests of the country.
Professional and academic sessions for senior officers of the armed forces, paramilitary and intelligence agencies, as well as top officials from ministries, departments and agencies aimed at enhancing national security management and policy development. In other news, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has sent a congratulatory letter to the first female Prime Minister of Japan, Sanae Takaichi, describing her emergence after winning the votes in the parliament as an affirmation of her contributions to the influence of her political party in governance in Japan. The president says he looks forward to working with Prime Minister Takaichi. In a letter signed by the president says, "Your victory as the leader of the Liberal Democratic Party and ultimately as the Prime Minister of Japan constitutes a remarkable expression of the confidence reposed in you by the good people of Japan. Your emergence as the first female Prime Minister of Japan is a testament to the decades of your contributions to the growth of your political party and governance in Japan." End of quote. He pledged Nigeria's continued goodwill and support for Japan. It is not going to be business as usual in procurement. This is as the National Assembly introduces digital and e-procurement system to block leakages across ministries, departments and agencies in procurement process. This was the thrust of a one-day retreat organized by the Senate Committee on Public Procurement in Abuja. Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports.
The Procurement Act 2007 provides decisive steps to engender transparency, value for money, and accountability for due process and eliminating corruption in the system. Many, however, agree there is room for improvement. This retreat is designed to strengthen the institutional capacity of the Nigerian Senate in driving integrity within the nation's procurement system, aligning with international best practices.
This program will provide an engaging platform to examine global frameworks and reflect on national realities.
Our aim as a committee is to put in place a solid means of oversighting all the MDAs, the agencies, and all ministries. We want to protect government interests.
Some people do public procurement without due process. So this will keep them in line on how to do public procurement with due process.
The retreat with the theme, Global Regulation and International Best Practices for Monitoring and Compliance in Public Procurement, is expected to share insights that will translate into improved policies and credibility in public procurement. Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
In other news, the Nigeria Governors Forum says the federal government fiscal reforms currently being implemented by the Central Bank of Nigeria aligns with the national development priorities. This and other top national issues shaping the direction of governance in Nigeria formed the communique drafted at the end of its 6th meeting held in Abuja. Political correspondent Abubakar Akwanga reports.
The arrival of governors across 36 states of the Federation signals the commencement of a long day, and as their number reaches climax, they all return to a closed-door session which endures for several hours. After an exhaustive session with the Deputy Governor of the Apex Bank on economic policy, Dr. Mohammed Sani Abdullahi, federal government stabilization effort to restore price stability receives governor's nod.
It's meant to curb inflation, enhance liquidity management, and consolidate macroeconomic stability. Governors commended the central bank's coordinated approach.
Director General State Security Services Adeola Oluwatosin Ajayi made a presentation on emerging security threats and intelligent-led strategy to strengthen subnational coordination.
Governors expressed appreciation to the DSS for its proactive engagement and reiterated their commitment to deepen intelligence sharing and collaboration with the federal security agencies.
The forum also notes that the reserved seat for Women Bill HP 1349 will be voted between November 4 and 6, 2025, The bill, which seeks to amend the 1999 Constitution, will create special constituencies exclusively for women to contest. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
From Abuja, we take you to Awka now, where Daniel Okpai is standing by to brief us on the thousands of unregistered and, of course, registered voters who are expected to collect their PVCs at Awka. Daniel, can you give us the progress report on this?
All right, thank you and welcome to Awka, the Anambra State capital, where at the clock is ticking down to November 8th governorship election, and everybody seemed to be ready, including INEC, the umpire. A total of 2.8 million registered voters are set to determine the fate of 16 political parties and their candidates ahead of the November 8th governorship election. And this figure represents the total number of registered voters after the last continuous voter registration exercise. It used to be about 2.52 million and increased to 2.8 million after the last registration, which represents about 70% increase. So we are at one of the collection centers where the people are collecting their PVC, and they said they are ready to be part of the political process in electing their governor, who will take them for the next 4 years.
All right, thank you very much. Oh, do you have more to tell us on this?
Yes, we are talking about the age now. The youths also, they came out in their numbers. We also have about 5,000 people who were transferred from different states, and they also have added to the number of the people who are going to participate in the election. Collection has been very seamless because INEC has promised to conduct a seamless election, and this they have done through the collection of this PVC that have started. It's going to last for 5 days. It began on Wednesday.
Thank you very much for the update, Daniel Okpai.
All right, thank you.
A skill-based revolution is unfolding in Nigeria, with over 250,000 young Nigerians currently undergoing training across 2,600 technical and vocational education and training TVET centers nationwide. So the Minister of Education went on a fact-finding mission to gauge how the initiative is faring. Zenren Dimum was part of the team.
The initiative, part of the federal government's TVET program, aims to empower youth and drive economic growth through practical, hands-on learning, reflecting the administration's belief that certificates alone are not enough. The program blends 20% theory with 80% practical experience to produce industry-ready graduates.
With the training, I was able to know more about pottering, and I can able to start something for myself.
I want to go deeper inside this training so that I will learn more and I could be able to impart on others.
I have learned a lot about this pottery, that is one of the greatest form of business in agriculture.
We want them to be employer of labor, and the way we've designed it, we're not just going to train them alone, skill them up alone. We're giving them starter pack, and at the end of this all, we're also going to give them grant to help them.
Amid the successes recorded in the training program, the Ministry of Education also met with the Nigerian Education Group, calling for a united approach to tackle the long-standing challenges in the sector. He acknowledged the valuable support of international development partners, but stresses that lasting solutions must come from within, rooted in local realities and designed to sustainably address Nigeria's unique educational needs.
Between what we're pulling from BESDA, AF, GP system strengthening grant, system capacity grant, and also UBEP budget. And I was also told that HOPE has funding for measurement of learning assessment.
Dr. Lausa again reaffirms the present administration's commitment to a robust education system in Nigeria. In Abuja, Zenred Dingmon, NTA News.
Citizenship education has now been included into the school's curricula as a subject to be studied by learners at different levels of education. Director General of the National Orientation Agency, NOA, Malam Lanre Isaonilu, at a media interactive session in Abuja on his 2 years in office, explains that the approval of the federal government is part of efforts to strengthen institutions that will nurture citizens to acquire core values that will engender national development.
Followers are returning 7. So the two sides have come to the table. That's why it's a charter. If you end it there, then you have just produced another document to gather dust. In the past, we used to have civic education in schools. And then school became an institution to nurture because it's in the curriculum. At a stage, it was yanked off. Those are no longer taken seriously. So in the last 3 decades, Nigerian children grew up without any guidance. Because of that, we recommended 7 institutions of nurturing, which we took to FEC and was approved in September last year.
On issues of awareness campaigns, DG NOA says the agency is sustaining visibility through its jingles and messages, the social media platforms, and the traditional media outfits. He explains that the agency is leveraging its network of staff spread across the country to sustain behavioral change campaigns among the rural dwellers. The DG, however, describes the agency's Establishment Act amendment currently at the National Assembly as one that will give a force of law to the implementation of government policies being championed through the agency. As the Ember Month returns with increased travel and commercial activities, the Federal Road Safety Corps in Osun State is intensifying efforts to dispel fears and encourage safer driving habits. Kayode Oladusu reports.
Nigerians are often gripped by a sense of foreboding when it comes to road safety during the last 4 months of the year, popularly referred to as Ember Months.
Nothing you drink in Ember Month. But what I see on the road is that by October, November, December, the roads are so busy. There is too much of vehicle on the road.
For the Federal Road Safety Corps, the answer lies not in the months themselves, but in the behavior of road users.
Same thing that goes on in January to August is the same thing that will happen between September and December. It's just for us to change our attitude towards our own safety. Vehicular movement do increase, people's movement increase, but the quest to satisfy ourselves within this particular month, I haven't realized probably we have not met our target, then make us to indulge ourselves in so many unethical and anti-safety issues.
With a surge of vehicular movement during this period, motorists are advised to exercise personal responsibility for their safety on the roads. In Oshogbo, Kayode Oladoshu, NTA News.
Kayode Oladoshu is joining us live at this point to tell us the effort put in place by the Federal Road Safety Corps in Osun State to prevent road crashes during the Ember Month. Kayode, let's hear more from you on this.
Thank you. Ember months spanning from September to December are often linked to myth and supernatural forces regarding increased road crashes nationwide. However, the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, attributes the rise in accidents during this period to human factors. Shedding more light on this in tackling this myth in Osun State, I have here with me Osun State Sector Commander of FRSC, Corps Commander Leye Adegboyega. Why did FRSC attribute Ember Month crashes to human efforts rather than supernatural forces? And what are the efforts put in place to make sure that the period is free of crashes?
Thank you so much. Any RTC is linked to human factor. People practice unsafe driving behavior such as overspeeding, overloading, using phone while driving, among others. RTC is not linked to any myth of supernatural forces. Spirits don't cause accident. Human beings do cause accident. And that is why in Federal Road Safety Corps, we emphasize on the issue of drivers driving on our roads and ensuring that personal responsibility and safe driving culture is attained while driving on the road. Thank you.
What are those efforts that you put in place during this period that there will be free flow of traffic and then there won't be crashes in Osun State, or reduction in road crashes in Osun?
In Osun State, we have commenced what we call 2025 Ember Month public campaign and sensitization program. On Monday, we had the press conference. On Wednesday, we had the motorcade road show to major streets in Osun State. We have commenced a kind of direct engagement and advocacy visit to motor parks, to community leaders, to churches and mosques, and to community leaders within our jurisdiction. We have also mapped out our action plan to increase patrol enforcement and visibility along our major highways in Osun State. We are still going to intensify public enlightenment and advocacy visit to all the motor parks, to churches, to mosque community leaders, because we believe that direct engagement with the set of people that are mentioned will assist us to achieve a reduction in the rate of RTC. We appreciate the Corps Marshal for ensuring that the theme for this Ember Month campaign is take responsibility for your safety. Stop distracted driving.
What is your advice for motoring public in this period of the time?
Well, my advice to the motoring public during this period is to take responsibility for their safety and stop distracted driving. They should drive within the rules of the road, avoid overloading, avoid overspeeding, avoid using phone while driving, ensure that they take proper maintenance of their vehicles in case of any vehicle failure that can lead to RTC. And above all,
thank you very much, Corps Commander Leia Adegboyega. That's it from here in Osogbo.
Thank you very much, Kayode. From Osogbo, we take you to Sokoto, where Asmau Habibu Shagare is standing by with more reports on Nationwide. Hello, Asmau.
Many thanks, Nolin. Good evening and welcome to Sokoto on Nationwide. Federal Road Safety Corps Sokoto State Sector Command says its sustained stakeholder engagements have led to a significant decline in road crashes across the state from April to date. Encouraged by this achievement, the command has intensified sensitization campaigns at motor parks and other strategic locations to ensure a crash-free Ember period. Bashir Ibrahim Nababa reports.
The Federal Road Safety Corps FRSC in Sokoto State has been busy recently, organizing various forms of stakeholders' engagement, from the customary commemoration to the Ember Month campaign activities. There were a series of roadshows at Konna Motor Park and advocacy visit to the National Association of Road Transport Owners NATO and other road users to sensitize them and galvanize support on the importance of obeying traffic rules and regulations in line with the theme of this year's Ember Month observance.
I've been to everybody to please try and maintain and follow the rules and regulations of the traffic laws of the Federation.
Inshallah, mun gamsu da abin da aka faɗa, kuma za mu ƙara kiyaye dokoki na tuki da kuma hudubar ta yi muna na wannan aiki.
Duk sadda an ka ce taho ga abu doka na don ka kare lahiyar kanka da ƙaryanka, to ya zama wajibi ka amshe shi. Kuma mu ƙungiyar agwagwa da buje shirye muke da mu aiwatar da duk shirin da road safety ta hisuwa don kariya gare mu, lahiyar mu da kuma ta ƙarfin mu.
There's also a stakeholders meeting on safe driving practices and compassionate visit to the road crash victims at the Specialist Hospital Sokoto, offering relief items and words of encouragement. The theme for the 2025 Ember Month sensitization campaign is taking responsibility for your safety which aims to curb reckless driving and promote personal responsibility among motorists and other road users. From Sokoto, Bashir Ibrahim Nababa, NTA News.
Sokoto and President General of the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Muhammad Saad Abubakar, has restated the vital role of traditional institutions in fostering peace, unity, and national development. He made the remarks while hosting members of the House of Representatives Committee on Traditional Institutions who were on a courtesy visit to his palace in Sokoto. Dalhata Abdullahi reports.
The visit was not just a mark of respect, but demonstration of the partnership between lawmakers and traditional institutions, reflecting the enduring synergy between governance and cultural heritage in the country. The Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar, noted that for centuries, traditional rulers have remained custodians of justice, morality, and social order, long before the amalgamation of the northern and southern protectorates. He emphasized that traditional institutions will continue to support government efforts in promoting peace, stability, and national cohesion.
We've had a series of engagements with so many stakeholders. Our members have been to the National Assembly to present papers at the 8th Assembly, 9th Assembly, 10th Assembly, all in efforts of seeing that we are recognized in the Constitution.
The Chairman House of Representatives Committee on Traditional Institutions, Abdul Mumin Muhammad Ali, said the visit was aimed at strengthening collaboration with traditional rulers and seeking their guidance on ongoing legislative reforms in Nigeria.
The leadership of the National Assembly also it possible, inshallah, to make sure that the traditional institution will have its own constitutional role in the Constitution of the Republic of Nigeria, in the forthcoming Constitutional Review Committee.
The function of the House of Representatives Committee on Traditional Institutions is to strengthen collaboration between the legislature and the traditional rulers by ensuring their roles in governance, peace building, and community development are recognized, supported, and integrated into national policies and constitutional frameworks. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And that's it from Sokoto. We will take a short break and Nationwide will continue in Lagos afterwards.
Welcome to Lagos, and good to know you're still there. Lagos State Government, in collaboration with other stakeholders, is prioritizing eco-friendly practices and sustainable infrastructure to build a resilient environment and secure the future of its citizens. This commitment was reiterated at a press conference for the Lagos International Climate Change Summit 2025, highlighting the state's dedication to working with nature and promoting sustainable development. Adejoke Odeka completes the report.
Big cities worldwide face climate and environmental challenges, but Lagos, being one of the most climate vulnerable states, is not resting on its oars. Ahead of the Lagos International Climate Change Summit 2025, the city is proactively turning its challenges into vision, opportunities, and results, showcasing its commitment to environmental sustainability.
This year's summit will spotlight the blue economy, harnessing ocean and waterways for sustainable growth, green finance, mobilizing capital for renewable energy, waste recycling, and nature-based infrastructure.
We encourage people to take advantage of what Lagos State have initiated. Recently, we have the E1 boat race, and that has gone global in the sense that it launches Lagos on the map of coastal tourism.
Speaking on the impact of the Great Wall of Lagos, a vital coastal protection initiative, partners emphasized that safeguarding the artificial island and Victoria Island from coastal erosion and ocean surges requires collective efforts.
The whole essence is converting our weakness to strength, our ashes to beauty in the environmental space.
Lagos State continued effort to address climate change, stakeholders say, demonstrates her commitment to ensuring environmental sustainability and resilience, protecting its coastline and citizens. In Lagos, Adejoke Odeka, NTA News.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, advocates speedy passage of the unexplained wealth and whistleblower bills before the National Assembly to protect and encourage citizens to contribute their quota in the fight against corruption. This was part of the conversation between operatives of the EFCC, the media, and civil society organizations. Larry Belay reports.
And this fight, we know that
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission does not operate in isolation. The Government Anti-Graft Agency therefore deems it necessary to collaborate with CSOs and media, especially considering their role as watchdogs of the society.
This collaboration is even more imperative given the scale and sophistication of economic crimes we contend with.
The training, which had professionals from the Commission, harped on relevant subject matter such as prosecuting financial crimes, issues, challenges, and the way forward, as well as the need to adopt the use of artificial intelligence in the fight against corruption, understanding cryptocurrency, fraud, and other emerging financial crimes.
Romance Scam is also a platform where people fall victim to fraudsters. And then, rather than asking you to pay through Western Union, they know that one, they will catch you quickly. They ask you to pay through crypto.
Interagency collaboration instead of interagency rivalry. Okay, so they will be able to identify corruption, then they will encourage people to report corruption, and part of it is what collaborating with the media and the civil society organization can achieve.
The fight against corruption and financial crimes, the EFCC says, is a collective battle that must be won. The EFCC referenced Ponzi scheme, stating that between 2014 and 2017, about $25 billion have been lost to investment and business scams, hence the need to tackle these societal problems. In Lagos, Larry Bilai, NTA News.
That's it from Lagos. It's now back to Nolin in Abuja for the continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you very much, Ihingino John Adams. Former First Lady Dame Patience Jonathan has urged contestants of 2025 Miss and Mr. Africa Tourism representing their various countries across Africa to use their positions to promote peace and harmony. Receiving a delegation of the organizers of the program, Dame Jonathan also urged them to be good ambassadors who project Africa's image to the world by promoting gender-based issues, women and youth empowerment, and Child Rights Act. Encouraging them on peace-building initiatives that will enable tourism thrive, Dame Patience Jonathan also urged them to support pet projects of the first ladies of their different countries while they set their eyes on becoming successful.
I know most of you all are champions for it. So I urge you to serve as role models. Pay serious attention to health sector, especially the youths, where we encourage those ones with heart problems to come.
A refresher capacity building program at the Nigerian Television Authority is reshaping how reporters tell the nation's stories about truth, emotion, and the magic of words on screen. Juliana Nicholas participated and captured the essence.
In a world where every second counts, the difference between a report and the story is how it makes you feel. Here at the headquarters of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, reporters gather to rediscover the art of storytelling and how to connect more deeply with their audience. Facilitated by one of NTA's own, Victor Azu, the creative writing workshop explores how clarity, color, and credibility can transform facts into compelling television moments.
If there was also somebody who is forced to do the right thing based on your storytelling, that person will not forget you. It lingers. it lingers, and it is worth the investment. So, build from the beginning. Fantastic opening. What next? You build on it. Make them care enough to listen to you.
Through real-life case studies and hands-on writing tasks, participants learn how to find emotion behind information, give voice to the unseen, and make their stories breathe again.
The resource person did justice to the topic on how to create my story from different perspectives.
Before, I don't know what we call hookup, bit of payoff and resolution. But I've learned that from here.
From the training, it opened our minds to how to write our stories in a different way, creatively. Telling a story in such a way that people will be glued to their television.
The session ends the way it began, with stories, written with purpose, told with passion, and anchored on NTA's enduring mission to inform, educate, and inspire.
On felicitation, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has congratulated Chief Adebutu Adebukonla Kessington as he marks 90th birthday. In a letter to the celebrant, the president acknowledged that at 90 years, Chief Adebukonla has enjoyed countless God's blessings, for which his friends and associates are thankful. Chief Adebutu's generosity and commitment to the common good distinguish him among the country's wealthy individuals. On this special anniversary of the celebrant, President Tinubu, on behalf of the nation, thanked Chief Adebutu for bringing joy, opportunities and livelihoods to countless families through his businesses and philanthropy. Talking health, today is World Polio Day, and immunizing children aged 0 to 5 years remains a crucial step towards maintaining a polio-free future for the world. This is why members of the club are at Amak Health Care Center, led by the Rotary District 9112 Governor, Lanre Adedoyin, to immunize children under 5 to close surveillance gaps and align with the polio eradication roadmap 2022 through 2026, aimed at sustaining progress towards complementing government's effort in the fight against polio.
Go and tackle it so that it does not spread to other parts of the country that are not so affected, because we believe that a threat to one is a threat to all.
While dispelling the myth that vaccines are means to reduce the population of the country, the End Polio Now campaign has been instrumental in lowering polio cases worldwide by 99.9%.
Rejection, but with this, you can see most of them are coming in, they are happy.
Immunization is safe, immunization is good, not only for polio but for other antigens.
It's good for them. It will make them not to fall sick anyhow.
On August 25, 2020, the World Health Organization officially certified Nigeria free from polio after marking 3 consecutive years since the last case of wild polio had been identified. The theme for the 2025 World Polio Day is Finishing the Job, our legacy for a polio-free world. Dibabari is in our Port Harcourt Network Center, and we shall now be joining her to present more news for us on Nationwide from that axis. Over to you, Dibabari.
Ecosystem Act has been held in Port Harcourt with participants brainstorming on the best strategy for effective implementation in the state. Kingsley Maji was there.
With digital technology driving the ecosystem, the enactment of Nigeria Digital Act 2022 provides the necessary law designed to support the growth, development, and regulation of our thriving digital economy. This workshop's objective is intended to get the authorities and stakeholders in Rivers State adopt the National Digital Literacy Framework. The target is to build a digital and innovative economy that works for everyone.
We would all brainstorm once again, learn new things with respect to the Nigerian Startup Act and also the National Digital Literacy Framework. The federal government has set 2030 as a target, at least to achieving digital literacy for over 95% of Nigerians.
Adopting this type of law will see the provision of funding, localized funding to stimulate and energize the ecosystem and bring the startups to the level where they are able to compete for the provisions that have been made in the National Act.
5 states, Rivers, Lagos, Kano, Abia, and Ogun, including Federal Capital Territory, are among the pilot states for implementation. The rationale behind this campaign is to get them actively involved and tailor the adoption to their local needs.
This is a welcome development for, startups, entrepreneurs in Rivers State. And I also want to say that the state will have to look at this act critically to look at areas where, the provisions of the act can also benefit startups in Rivers State.
The conversation also examined how to grow a digital literate society wherein schools should play a critical role. The underlying message is to bring innovation and promote local and international entrepreneurship, opening up the state for tech business. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
Nigerian Army 6th Division Port Harcourt has reaffirmed its commitment to the welfare of soldiers to boost operational readiness. General Officer Commanding 6th Division Nigerian Army, Major General Emmanuel Emeka, stated this at the inauguration of renovated solar-powered Python roundabout and 1 block of 10 flats for corporal and below quarters. The report.
Solar energy-powered Python roundabout, which was reconstructed by the commanding officer 29 Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel I.G. Otogo, was commissioned by my humble self today, the 21st of October, 2025.
The solar-powered Python roundabout and 1 block of 10 flats for corporals were in bad shape and needed renovation. Hence, the action by the command to ensure comfort and enhance the aesthetics of the environment. But General Officer Commanding 6th Division Nigerian Army, Major General Emmanuel Emeka, says the infrastructure is to ensure comfort and operational readiness of officers and men.
In line with the Chief of Army Staff, Soldiers First mantra and his command philosophy, which places so much emphasis on the welfare of soldiers. So that is why this is being done. And it's not just this, others have been done in the past.
Commanding Officer 29 Battalion 6th Division, Lieutenant Colonel Joseph Otogo, says the project is a reflection of commitment to excellence and collective effort.
The remodeled roundabout, now fully solar powered, enhances safety, aesthetics and environmental sustainability with bright lighting, clear markings and directional signs, ensuring safer movement even in poor visibility. It symbolizes discipline, innovation and professionalism within the cantonment.
The reconstructed Python roundabout with solar energy light is also to ensure safety.
And now that's it from Port Harcourt. It's back to Nolin for the rest of the news.
Thank you very much, Dibabari. Malnutrition remains a major public health concern in Kebbi State, affecting many children under the age of 5. Hassan Abubakar Koko examines the burden of malnutrition and highlights government and stakeholders' efforts to improve child nutrition across the state.
A large ratio of malnutrition in Kebbi has led to increased cases of stunted growth and underweight children, especially among street children. This is generating concerns from stakeholders on the local and national fronts, who are currently taking steps to ameliorate the trend. Today at primary health centers in parts of Kebbi State, mothers bring their children for nutrition screening and support, a vital step towards saving young lives. Despite some progress, cases of malnutrition persist, especially in rural communities where poverty and poor feeding habits remain common.
Once a child gets malnourished and is underdeveloped, above 5 years, this is something that cannot be cured. And this issue of malnutrition is something that impairs on the child's brain development.
The Kebbi State Primary Healthcare Development Agency says the state government, in collaboration with development partners such as UNICEF, Medicine Sans Frontiers and Gavi, is intensifying efforts to tackle malnutrition through community-based nutrition programs across all local government areas.
Through the support from the government, we come up with different strategy, different methodology, and different system to improve, malnutritional status of our children.
Another initiative by the wife of the governor, Haja Zainab Nasir Idris, is the use of Tom Brown, a locally blended nutrient-rich food made from grains to improve child nutrition at the household level. Stakeholders believe that with sustained funding, community participation and continuous nutrition education, Kebbi State can build a healthier future for its children. In Birnin Kebbi, Hassana Abubakar Koko, NTA.
Abubakar Koko in Birnin Kebbi. She joins us live now to give us more on how communities are responding. Hassana, over to you.
Thank you. Here in Kebbi State, communities are showing greater commitment in the fight against malnutrition. At some primary healthcare centers visited, the large turnout of women bringing their children for screening and counseling is increasing. A sign that awareness campaign is gradually improving. And apart from that, traditional and religious leaders also are spreading nutrition messages during community gathering. They promote exclusive breastfeeding as well as nutrition practice among people in the community. The community volunteers trained by state government are also playing a key role in the sense that they go house by house to identify malnourished children and refer them for treatment. They also educate mothers on how to prepare nutritious meal for the children using available and affordable local ingredients. Stakeholders also stress that continuous sensitization is key, especially at the grassroots level, and also the need to strengthen data collection and monitoring to ensure that children at the grassroots level are benefiting from the state government intervention. In conclusion, the effort of community participation in Kebbi State in improving child malnutrition in Kebbi State cannot be overemphasized. Thank you.
Very well, Hassana Abubakar Koko. We appreciate your contribution from Kebbi State.